Sara, I mean, you say that nature played a huge part in your healing process. And guess what? It works for all of us, even if it's a brief walk, getting outside, breathing, taking a deep breath, sort of a mental time out, getting away from everything. But you took it to the next level. Can you talk us through that?
What I did was I literally would grab my paddleboard, I would grab my hiking pack, I would go out into nature, and I would get out of my head, because again, you cannot mindset healing, right? You cannot mindset forgiveness. And I would drop into my heart. And that is where I would somatically heal, by going out into nature and connecting to something that was so much bigger than my trauma itself. Because what we want to do is we want to create new experiences that we can then actually latch onto, that we can actually have in our life, that make us happy. The number one most important thing that you can do is experience awe and wonder when you're in nature. And the reason why is because through experiencing awe and wonder, I was also creating a new life, right? Because I was experiencing and viewing life in a different way. It's the most fascinating thing when you get out there, and you don't have to go climb to a peak like I did, okay? You can literally sit with a spider and go back to that childlike sense and watch it actually being woven. And that alone will create the awe and wonder that will start to shift the brain.
Well, I think the three of us are definitely on the same page there, that nature can be a lot better and a lot easier than Prozac. So isn't that right, Mike?
Absolutely. You know, what's really interesting for anybody experiencing trauma, medications can be sort of a Band-Aid, but we've got to acknowledge that trauma is more nurture than nature. It's environmental. It's something that happened to you, right? So unlike some mental illnesses where medications are as effective as therapy, trauma and betrayal trauma, it is really about the therapy. So there are 4 therapies I really like for people in the acute phase. One is EMDR. Prince Harry recently made this very famous, processing his trauma related to his mother. The other is accelerated resolution therapy, clinical hypnosis, and ketamine-assisted psychotherapy. So I practice a lot of these therapies, and these therapies are different than traditional talking therapies because it's going into the same part of the brain where trauma is stored. Trauma is stored primarily in sensations and not words. So those 4 therapies are really wonderful. So if you're experiencing betrayal trauma, you can look for a practitioner certified in one of those 4. But then there's sort of this long-term phase, right? So we talked about the 2 different stress hormones. Adrenaline is that short-term spike, and then cortisol presses the gas pedal and keeps stress hormones high for a long time. So some of these modalities that Sara is using, nature, in a study, cortisol goes down in as little as 20 minutes. A lot of the soft patterns that occur in nature are telling your nervous system you're okay, which is the direct antidote to that feeling of I'm not okay.
Great tips and great advice, Dr. Dow. So Sara, you've written a book. It's called Walk Through This. And how have you helped others discover the healing gift of nature?
Yeah, I wrote Walk Through This. It's Harness the Healing Power of Nature and Travel the Road to Forgiveness. It has a section in there. It's my memoir, science-based, 7 steps to healing and forgiveness. And then there's a conclusion of how do you know when you're on this journey, right? How do you know when you're continuing on this path? I also run retreats in the Grand Canyon, and I also run online healing programs and do a lot of other coaching as well. I will tell you that my traumas have been my biggest gifts, because I used to be a teacher and now I'm able to give back to society in a way that I never would have been able to otherwise. And it's given my children the opportunity to step into their gifts, right? As their own therapy. I think it's one of the most profound things that we've experienced as a family.
Great stuff, Sara. So powerful, the power of forgiveness, especially in the face of betrayal. And Michael, Dr. Dow, as always, thank you so much.
Thank you. Always happy to be here, Dr.
It's been my pleasure.
Thank you.